Hello everyone, welcome to my very first episode into Minecraft here. We're here at the world's ugliest farm. A place where I basically go and do all the work that I need to get done. So I got my bee farm here, and also kind of like doubles as my wheat farm as well. Just so you know, it all works and everything here. So yeah, every time I need to get some more wheat, I just press the button down here and it goes all into this box. I also have a working moss farm as well. It's not the most efficient one, no, but I'm just the only one playing on this game, so I'm the only one by myself, so I don't care how efficient it is. It really does not matter when it's just me. And then I have my cactus farm, which is actually super efficient, surprisingly. It's produced quite a bit of cactus. I don't think I'll ever need that much cactus, and I kind of just threw it up. I might even dismantle this eventually because it's like, there's no point having this, really. And let's see here. I got a skeleton farm. This thing also doubles as the deep dark stuff. I can get all in this area. I ran into so many problems trying to build this thing. It was just an absolute nightmare, but there is a skeleton farm that comes down here of stone here, so I can just constantly make it. It'll just grow eventually. Stalactite there if I really wanted, but I am going to use this stuff to build as well. I also do have a little bit of a enchanting table just in case I need to enchant some stuff here. Keep myself occupied doing multiple things. I did think about putting the bee farm and stuff down here, but I don't think I need to. And then I have my starter house. Now, spawn is like roughly right about there, but I decided to build over here because it gave me a lot more opportunities to travel around and build in basically this whole world if I want to. I also do have a little bit of a sheep farm going on over here. A couple cows and chickens got in there though, you know. And one of these things. One of those punks got in there. I don't know why. But like, you're saying, hey, this place is mighty ugly. Well, that's the whole thing. It's just not supposed to be pretty at all. So our main focus really is to basically build this island that we have right over here in this area. Just to show you that I actually have some building skills. Not super great building skills, but I'm there. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. Hopefully I'll learn some tricks from the trade. Now you can see these other builds in our streams, but this one we're going to kind of cut down to the short and dirty of everything here. Kind of a pre-world tour to what we're actually going to build here. Now, the only other thing I do not have in this world is a villager trading facility. And I like kind of building a whole town for them, so I'm just going to go and do that. So we've got a little bit of a dock going here. We're going to build this dock out way bigger eventually. And even this fishing shack is going to get a little bit bigger. There are some things I'm going to have to kind of like touch up on in here. So the first thing I actually built on this island was this house, basically. So it's our basic, this is kind of like the main house for basically when I'm working on this island or whatever, I work in this house. Still a little bit of a work in progress, nothing too major. It's kind of like, I'll come back to it kind of thing. The second plate thing that I built in this world was the smith shop, which is also going to be functionable eventually. So this will be a functioning kind of place right here for upgrading all our tools and everything. The third thing I actually built was this house. Not the stuff in front of the house, but definitely the house got built next. And this will be kind of a sleeping quarters for for the farmers. So everybody's gonna have a store so everybody's gonna have a place to go, basically. So the next thing I built after that was the barn here, and I didn't want to go with the old classic red barn. So yeah, I went with a little bit of a different look on that one. And then I built this greenhouse, which actually I really enjoy this greenhouse. It is very nice. I actually do like this greenhouse. It's very sweet. And then I kind of built the garden out after that, just a little bit. And I think that was going to be it for basically the farm. So Once I built that garden in the front of this house, I said, okay, that's enough. I haven't put any pathing in here because I wanted to do pathing that's going to be the same all the way through this build, and I really haven't decided that, and I was going to decide that until all the houses are going to be built. So next thing we decided to build was this. It's going to be a shop of some sort. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a bookstore. I've already kind of decided, hey, this is kind of what I wanted to go with, and whoever works in this bookstore, or even, it doesn't even have to be somebody who works in this bookstore, could live in here. So I'll put some beds and stuff in here. It's got a little bit of a balcony, and that was the last thing I actually built for this world. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to continue on building more houses in this world. So one of the things I wanted to make sure I do, and I was going to be continuous with it, was I was going to make sure that the houses are close to each other, like really close to each other. So like the next house I'm going to have, like for example, whatever style I'm going to use, it's going to be like, basically, here's the house that's going to be right next to it. And all the houses are going to be different colors. They didn't want it to be the same thing, but they are going to be like kind of like attached almost. So our next building, I don't know what kind of building we're going to do. Think about it in a little bit here and maybe come up with some colors, come up with a scheme or something, what we're going to put into this next building. But I don't want it to be like super side by side either, because I want it to be really close, but at the same time, I want it to be kind of like the next building is going to be like just out like a little bit more, or even in a little bit more, because I want the path to be kind of like not straight. I do not want straight paths. Straight paths are boring. Seeing many straight paths. The landscaping will eventually need a little bit of work. I might do some more retaining walls and stuff like that, but I wanted to keep the town, and there's going to be a huge town. That's basically my plan, to have a huge town with like some little sites. I was going to keep kind of like the bigger shops and stuff over here, more industrial stuff over here, and then like smaller shops over here. I do not want I would never build this smithery like in the town. That would maybe a smaller smithing shop, maybe I might put in there, but I don't think I'll do that either. If I already have a smith shop, I don't need another one. So let's get to the next build. I really want to use a different color scheme than I'm used to. I'm not used to using these color schemes together. If they look right or they don't look right, it's like I'm not going to be doing any texturing in here. I just want to build something that I'm going to enjoy. I do want to challenge myself a little bit, but at the same time, if you want to see other builders do that, go watch them. Go watch whatever they're going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do, what I think is going to look sweet. All right, so we'll come back and get some resources and materials, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so I think our color scheme is that we're going to have dark wood accents. We might even just use full dark wood logs as well to go with that, I think. I think that would look pretty okay, and we're going to kind of mix it a little bit with the acacia and a little bit of granite as well. So that's basically going to be our color scheme. I thought about using some dolerite. It might actually work okay as well on that. So let's just check that out, see how that looks. That might be a little too much. It might be good for a roofing or a floor or something. So yeah, we might even mix that in a little bit just for some color variations and everything. So we're going to have to probably move this thing somewhere else, but let's go and get started basically on the perimeter. I don't have a second account, so we're not going to do any speed lapse building here in any way, shape, or form. So we'll see how it looks. Let's get kind of like a basic layout And I don't really want the buildings to be too square either. I'm all for having it jet out or coming out in different shapes or something. And I don't really want the back end of these to line up. Like, you notice how these ones kind of go out a little bit like this. That's kind of like what I wanted to do. I wanted to look kind of claustrophobic when you're kind of going down the street. I don't want there to be too many openings or whatever in this area. So I want to keep this as close by as possible. I do want to get our first stretch here, and then we'll have like maybe have a dead end or maybe even another secret pass to something else in the back, because I don't want it to be just buildings. I want it to be when you go through this place, you're gonna find like little secrets or something like that, like just something else that is kind of like lurking around in the path. I don't, like I said, I don't want these to be too square, so I'm thinking I want to go maybe narrower with this one. Be super narrower, and like I said, it is going to kind of get bigger on the top of it. It will have, the buildings might look different, but they might have an overall theme to this. I was thinking of putting the entrance of this, but I think this is going to be invasive to this person's house, so I don't think I'm going to put the entrance here. I think I might just do an entrance over here. I think just a normal front door entrance. Maybe we might have a side door entrance another time on another build. Alright, so we got a little bit of the building done here. We haven't really worked on the second floor. That's pretty much the design I'm going to go with, minus this right here. Let's get rid of that. That'll be a distraction. It's another distraction. That's all it is. I did build it up quite close to this hill. So yeah, we're going to have to do something about this, but I don't think that's really going to be an issue. The only issue is that the farmers are going to see this big building, but I think we could probably cover that up with some leaves or something so they're not looking at a big ugly thing. I might remove this fence and just spam it with something. Just, I don't want to have to spam it with leaves in order for things to look a little bit better, but definitely the layout does bump out a little bit more. I do feel like we're going to have to probably build like an awning or something like right here or something. Maybe even a bench, or we are going to have to do a little bit more bump outs just so it doesn't look so flat. But let's get the second floor done and then the main part, and then we'll add in some extra little details just so it doesn't look so flat. Alright, we got a little bit of the main exterior done. It does need some touch-up work though. Not gonna lie, it's very, very flat. Unlike this one where it's kind of got like a little bit of bump outs, which is really nice, which is the next thing we're gonna work on. We're gonna work on trying to just get this a little bit more, instead of just two colors. Like I do want to incorporate a little bit of the dark oak into this build, and I can only do that with like fences, slabs, and all this stuff. So we're going to try to see if we can get this in here and try to not make it so flat on some of the sides. I might even cut out even a little bit more windows just for so it just looks a little bit more like, I want it to like just kind of like pop out a little bit. I want it to be just as equally pop outy as this one. So let's add those little flourishes in there and see what we come up with. Alright, this is what it looks like. It's all finished. So a lot of this stuff I actually took out. I took out a lot of the acacia wood on the edges. I did leave some of the acacia on the inside here, so I wanted to keep it kind of the same color, but kind of not, so you know that there is a back entrance in here for a staircase for a veranda of sorts. So yeah, I kind of went with the polished dolerite for the roof here. Doesn't look too shabby. It looks not too bad. Looks like it's kind of coming the way. Oh, let me up there. Come on. Don't be silly. Then I went with the lightning rods. I'll probably hit lightning with that, start a fire, but who knows? Who cares? I don't think it will be an issue. If I put it up on top of here, I'll probably be fine. I have it so it's like touching the building, but it's like still its own building kind of thing. That is going to be okay. And once again, that hill is going to be covering up a lot of this building, but I do want to build something in behind here, so I left as many windows here. This is going to be blank because honestly I couldn't cut a window out in there and put it anywhere that would make any sense from the inside, so that's going to be blank. And then here I'll probably fill up with bushes or whatever so we can cover up that ugly wall. But yeah, I did have this design in here and I was like looking at it like from a distance and like, nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So a lot of this stuff I actually ended up cutting out and just replacing it with acacia planks. And that's only just because I wanted to add in more of the woods here and stuff. So I really wanted more dark wood, and I honestly couldn't do it with the amount of acacia I put in there. It was just a little too much. So yeah, I spent a little bit of time on this one, and we'll get set up for our next part of the build, and we're gonna have to do the interiors for both of these. I do want to fill up this one with bookcases. I'm gonna need a lectern in here, some proper light. This flooring I'm gonna leave as itself. I like this flooring. It's kind of got like a little bit of animation going to it, but I kind of want it to be like a magical bookshop, so hopefully all the villagers will go in there. Also, I gotta figure out what to do with these doors. That's a big problem. I just don't know really what door would really fit well with that one. So yeah, we're gonna fill up this one. We're gonna do up the bedrooms and then do up the upstairs for these. Both of these are gonna have beds in them, so yeah, I think that really turned out really nicely. It got a nice edge on it, and once again, it's all spawn proof. I do like the carpet for some shading. I just used this in there. I wanted to use something a little bit more of a lighter material or a lighter looking material to kind of hold up this awning, and it turned out really well actually. So all right, so we'll come back to this later, and we'll fill up those bedrooms. All right, so I think I finished off a little bit of this house. So we got a nice little sign here going here. It's going to be the map house, and also put all my treasure maps in here, so when I need them, they're gonna be here. I can use them. Once I'm done with them, I'll dispose of them, but I do want to keep whatever maps I do find. I'm gonna put basically on the wall or kind of make it look like it's like for sale. Second thing I'm also gonna do is make a giant map for our island and probably our workstation, maybe even some future projects. Maybe we'll keep, just to see where it's kind of evolving a little bit. Also, the other thing I did for this room as well is we got second floor, and I'm gonna have at least 3 map makers in here. This place is gonna be very populated. So I finally added in a little bit of the bookshop here, put a little bit of empty bookshelves, so it looks like things are kind of like selling. That thing's not gonna like get to your 30 levels, but I get to a few levels. I already have a full level 1 in the main house, so I'm gonna have at least 1 person per thing, so at least 3 per house. I'm gonna have at least 3 beds per house. So every house that's going to be in here, we're going to have at least 3, maybe even more for the smithery, because I did build quite a few things for the smithery. I haven't built a house for them. I probably will be building a community house, I think, somewhere around here. Haven't really quite decided. All these trees here are just going to be temporary. I am going to build another house in behind here. And the other thing I also did for this book place was build their residence. Kind of gave it a little bit of a closet here. Not really much. I feel like I've kind of slacked on the furniture department in here. I will eventually add some more stuff in there. There is no lighting in here whatsoever, but it really does not matter. I actually should put some lighting in here just so we don't have any monsters spawning around here. We have to kind of figure that out. Speaking of monster spawning, it's gonna be bedtime. All right, let's do some quick and dirty work to get some lighting into that place. And voila, a little bit filled up a little bit more. Yeah. just add some little bit of touches in here. Got enough lighting in here. We shouldn't have any monsters spawning in here. So that worked out really well. And then we got our veranda here, which is nice. And the next thing I also built was a quick little chicken coop. There's no possible way I'm going to be able to get in here at all. I could probably throw in some hoppers underneath and kind of collect the eggs if I wanted to, but I don't really foresee myself really eating chicken eggs right away, considering chickens are like everywhere. They're just on its own. Every time I get an egg or whatever, I end up chucking it, and then another chicken spawns, and slowly but surely they're going to be populating this island either way. So yeah, that'll be it for today's episode. Hopefully we will see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. Hopefully we will see you soon. And we take care. All right, later.